I'm Mike Smith on the Litter Media Spotlight. We're in Fayette County today at the Fayette County Jail, where we're talking with Fayette County Sheriff Vernon Stanforth, who takes us on a tour inside their new $20+ million facility. And we'll get to that right after this.
Husqvarna, zero turns, lawn tractors, walk-behinds, handhelds, and auto mowers. All at Hometown Motors Incorporated. Buy it here, get it serviced here. Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue, Chillicothe.
Sheriff, first of all, we're going from 1884 technology to 21st century technology. To the average person in Fayette County, what does that mean as far as security as well as prisoner population?
Well, I always contend that we've had a secure jail. We try to make it as secure and as safe as we possibly can, but there's still we have issues that we cannot address in an 1884 building. Built before electricity, built before plumbing, built before automated technology, and we've tried to encapsulate some of those advances as we move through the years in the old building, but it's not feasible any longer. We have electric wires that are still there that were installed in 1930 that sometimes we're still using, and even though they've been disconnected in some areas. We've got, we inherited a phone system that was just antiquated. We now have the most modern 911 center that can be constructed. And thanks to the taxpayers of Fayette County, we have an administrative building, we've got a 911 center, and now we have a jail that is today's technology, and it's built with that in mind, making it safe for not only the inmates, but for the staff as well. And
your population will go from what to what?
By the square footage that's dictated by the state of Ohio, we can only have 24 inmates in our jail. Our population typically is 50. We've had as many as 93 in that facility, and we're talking about packed. They take turns sleeping. We've tried to stay away from that as much as possible. We work with the courts to get people in and out as quick as possible. In the new facility, we're going to have 120 beds. We hope that with the cooperation of the courts, that will not be maxed out, that we'll be able to stay below that as much as possible, but still serve the needs of the community and what the community expects in a correction facility or detention facility. We did one of the first dual ballot issues where we not only passed a ballot on construction, but simultaneously combined and passed a ballot issue for operation, was one levy. So we were able to get a USDA Department of Agricultural loan for $20 million. The county has put in probably about another $2 or $3 million from the general fund. So we're looking at a project that's probably going to max out at about $23 to $24 million in that area. I'm not sure the exact numbers yet, but $20 million of that comes from the loan. The levy pays back the loan, and that's a 40-year loan. The commissioners just renegotiated with USDA to reduce a percentage on the loan and removed, I believe, 10 years from the life of that loan. So now we've got a 30-year loan instead of a 40-year loan. Hopefully the commissioners over the years will take other measures to help reduce that, the levy burden on the taxpayers as we pay off the loan quicker than just like your home loan. You can try to pay it off as quick as you can so you're debt free, and that's the goal. That whatever mechanism we may be able to put in place to reduce that burden on the taxpayers as well.
What do you think the lifespan of this facility could be?
No one will guarantee a building over 25 or 30 years. That's industry standard for any building, whether a high-rise apartment building or a detention facility or a warehouse. Every building has a life cycle. The current building is outlived its life cycle probably by about 100 years. Because every building has about a 30-year, and that building is over 130 years old. This building, we hope, will last longer than 30 years, but in reality, it doesn't take too much imagination to look at the technology that's changed in the last 20 years, in the last 10 years, the vast amount of technology, and the same thing will happen with this facility. Technology will move on. Our correction standards, based on the community standards, will migrate and change as well over the next 20 years. So they may have less people incarcerated. The mood may change. They may say, we want more people incarcerated. And this design is fixed so that Another generation could come in and build a replicate building right beside it using the same blueprints and just build it. And there you'd have, you'd be able to house over 200 inmates in the facility and still use the common utility hallway that we showed you earlier. They'd have the same laundry and kitchen and loading area that would be used for both facilities if that would ever come about. So that's just future planning, and hopefully that won't even be considered for the 25 or 30 years or never. This may suit the needs of the community for another 50 years.
All new technology, hopefully a place that you won't have to stay in, but a place that will keep Fayette County secure for many years to come. I'm Mike Smith for the Litter Media Spotlight.